Hello everyone, and today we're going to be doing something different once again. I really wanted to try this project out and kind of see where I could get with it. You see, my wife and I were given this Yamaha Vino Moped, I think 5 or 6 years ago. And you can see, I mean, it's had a lot of miles put on it. I mean, 13,000 miles on a moped is pretty insane. So I really haven't tried to do anything with it in that time. When I got it, I tried to start it, wouldn't run, and so it made a move with us, and really I've parked it in this shed for at least the last 3 years. So yeah, what we're gonna do is we're gonna pull this out, we're gonna put it in the garage. I'll have to take the plastics off and do all sorts of stuff, but we're gonna see if we can't get this old moped fired up and running. I got it up to the garage. The tires are pretty flat. You can really see how dirty this thing is. So I'm just gonna kind of go through it and see if we can't get this running. Well, I got the key here, so let's open this up and see what we all got in here. Okay. a lot of two-cycle, and oh, look at that. Well, I'm assuming all the paperwork for the bike. Cool. I have the actual sales receipt from the purchase of this, so you can see how much this was purchased for back in 2003. That's pretty crazy. So it was a whole bunch of paperwork, so I can see that wheels were replaced, everything was done before the owner I got it from. So that's pretty cool to see the entire history of this moped. I just pulled this front cover off. I didn't even have it on video. It's 3 bolts that hold it on. So you can see it there. There's a bolt that goes in the center. And then if we pop up the seat, there's 2 little bolts that come there. And then that whole front cover pulls off. And then there's a little bolt that holds this in. You can pull that out and the battery hides right behind there. And I am not going to try kickstarting this thing because it has been sitting too long, and I'm out of shape, so I will die before I get that started by kickstarting it. So I was able to pull this battery out, and I'll see if I can't go run today, get a brand new battery. But before we do, I mean, I know it's been sitting a long time, but I'll try to hook it up to the battery charger and see if we just can't even get it to take a little bit of a charge. If it doesn't, whatever, it's just not even a big deal. Brand new battery is like $40 for this. All right, I have my charger connected. You see that I actually have a mode for bikes. I don't know if it'll automatically detect that or not, but I'm gonna try this for a little bit and see if it doesn't actually get this kicked up and running. The latest update, I just kind of parked this up a little bit. I've not been able to find a battery locally. I might be able to go to the Yamaha dealer, but I really don't feel like spending probably $120 on a battery. Though I do see Amazon carries one for $35, and it's meant actually for that exact scooter, the Yamaha Vino Classic. So I'm gonna go ahead and just order that online through Amazon. It'll probably be here in about a week, and then we'll get going on this project again and see if we can't get this running. All right, guys, it's a week later, and lo and behold, a little package came in the mail. Here is the new battery. This is the old battery, so they're completely identical. The new battery cost me about $40, and seriously, this brand new battery direct from the Yamaha dealer was like $120. So I figured that no matter what, we're gonna go with this. We're gonna go with this aftermarket one. And just see how it goes. I mean, a battery is a battery as long as it fits. We're just trying to be able to turn this thing over. But I did accidentally leave this on the charger for almost an entire week, and this battery is hot and bulged out. Yeah, it's trashed. So all I got to do here is plug this in and get that to slide in, and we're gonna try starting it and see what happens. Got it plugged in, and this is gonna be the first time we turn on the ignition with power in about 7 years. So let's see what we get. Holy shit, look at that. It works. Nope. Well, that's all right. I mean, I pretty much figured that was going to be the case. I would imagine that carburetor is pretty gummed up. I mean, it's a two-stroke bike. It's been sitting for a long time, and I guarantee that the previous owner did not do anything to winterize it, put any stable in the gas. They literally did nothing other than stop riding it, throw it in the garage. And, you know, unfortunately, I didn't do that either. It's not like I thought, oh yeah, I might as well throw some stable in the tank because, yeah, this is going to be a project that's sitting for 7 years. So unfortunately, I'm running out of time to really be able to do anything because this battery took pretty much an entire week to get here. I'm running out of weekend already. So we're going to tear the plastics off, and we'll start tinkering around and maybe have to tear the carburetor off and get that all cleaned out. So I'll see you when I come back. Okay, maybe I lied a little bit yesterday when I said I was really ending the weekend. It's Sunday. I found a little bit of time before I had some plans and started wrenching around and seeing what I couldn't find, and actually found something rather quickly. So if you look here, this is the stock air box. So I kind of rooted around and found it, and the intake hose goes up here. So what I'm going to try to do is get some starting fluid, see if I can at least get it to run a little bit, and maybe start drawing some fuel through some of the newer fuel. I put up some additive in the fuel. See if we can at least get it to draw some of the new fuel, run on its own. And then last things, if we can't get it to do any of that, then we'll just have to do a full tear down, pull that carb off, and then we'll just have to rebuild the carb. All right, so it's a little bit later in the day. I went to start it, and the battery was pretty much dead. So I was able to throw it on the charger for a couple hours. We're good to go. So let's see if we can't get this thing to fire up. All right, so we have a little bit of progress. I was able, after just keep spraying that starting fluid in there, obviously I was able to draw some fuel in there, and it wants to idle and then die after a few seconds. So hopefully we can just keep doing that, and I'm not trying to overwork this little starter on here. And once we get some new fuel in there with the additives that I have in there, I'm hoping maybe it'll clear out the carb and the jets on there, ungum that, and maybe we can actually get this running without having to tear anything apart. You can see we have some success. It's idling pretty good. It'll idle for probably about 30 seconds and die, so we're just getting better and better. So essentially, I'm just hoping with all the fresh gas and everything going in there that over time, with it idling and all that, we can clean those jets out, get all the gum out of there, and hopefully maybe even get this going, like I said, without having to pull that carb off, because I really don't feel like pulling a carb off and doing a rebuild. It's kind of a pain in the ass. A little update. Obviously it's running. It's been idling for a couple minutes here. I don't want to keep idling it all day. It's actually idling really strong now. I mean, enough here that it's actually turning that back wheel. So hopefully we can just keep doing this. And I just filled up the rest of the tank with some brand new premium no ethanol fuel, and then put the rest of my carb cleaner in there. And I'm just hoping over time that once we get this idling, you know, if it can keep idling as strong as this, that with all that fresh gas in there, we'll wash all that crap out, and we'd actually do this. This is looking pretty good, but I know on plenty of two strokes, there's a lot of times that it's like, yeah, you'll clear up that one jet, and then it's, you know, trying to rev it up and get any extra fuel. It's good luck, you know, you'll always be good at idle. So, well, we'll just keep trying, and then I'll update you when we have an update. And here's our update. I've been idling it and slowly working the throttle, trying to get it cleaned out, and look at that. She's still not enough to give her wide open, but slowly it's cleaning that out. So hopefully this will do the trick. All right, guys, it's a couple days later, and I have an update on the Vino. In my last update, I've been really trying to run fresh gas through it with my carb cleaner, all that. I'm spraying some actual carb cleaner into it while it runs, and take a look at what difference this has made. And turn on the ignition, and look at this. Just kick starts and could idle for days. And we're even getting some throttle out of it. So I'm hoping that if we just keep doing this, that we'll actually be able to clean out that entire carb, clean those jets out, and get it to be able to fuel so I can actually take it for a ride. But while we're waiting, this thing really does have nearly a decade of dust and grime and crap just sitting on it. So I'm gonna go through and just clean it up real quick, get it looking halfway decent, and then yeah, we'll see what she looks like after. All right, after the wash, she looks really good and clean. Doesn't even look like it's a 20-year-old moped, but I didn't realize with all that dust, clearly she's seen some stuff. Someone was really flying and hit the clip-ins and had to lay her down. So here we are another week on from the last update that I gave, and I have something to share. So I've just been messing around with it, and I really couldn't get it to run any better. And I was doing some research. My dad came over, I asked his opinion, and he said, in his opinion, the carb was great, but it was really just falling on its face. It was struggling because it was not getting enough fuel. And so in his opinion, there's a inline fuel filter. So I was gonna check that out, but I started doing some more research and I came across a really old forum post from like 15 years ago that thank God was still up. And what that post said was, it was talking about somebody had a similar issue that on they could not get full throttle. It would really starve for fuel and die out. And so somebody had suggested that because the carb is so small and that even the main jet in that carb is tiny, that if you had any air coming into that stock air box, that it was just gonna lean it out right away and you were gonna run into trouble. So I was actually running the airbox completely off because I was cleaning that carb out and I was trying to do all I could with that. So I decided just to throw the stock airbox back on and see if we couldn't come to a conclusion if that was the culprit. Here you can see how nice it starts now. Look at that. And then look at this. And now that we have everything sorted, I'm going to take it for a spin. And there you have it. It runs and drives pretty good. It still bogs until it really warms up, but we're getting there. And honestly, at this point, it really is half a tank of 7 to 8 year old fuel. I have a bunch of additives tossed in there, and I threw a little bit of 2-stroke oil just to be sure that I wasn't gonna run it with no oil in it, because the auto oiler systems I still don't trust, and especially one that's been sitting for 7 years. And honestly, it probably really does need a new spark plug and really just kind of go through it and have a full good tank of gas ran through it, and then that should really clean everything out, and we'll see from there. But I think it's good, and I'm actually really satisfied with where we're at right now. And this video really shows that this little Yamaha Vino really didn't need that much, which is incredible to think that a 13,000 mile 2-stroke moped sat for 7 years without being winterized, without anything being done to it. And with a little bit of work and patience, the thing came right around. I'm able, a big guy, I'm able to take it and drive it and really not have any issues with it. It goes to show what a wonderful machine that Yamaha makes, and why, if you're looking for an older moped, you really should consider a Yamaha Vino Classic. So as always, thank you for watching the video, and if you liked what you saw, make sure to like and subscribe. Peace.